The Naught is nigh. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If we're gonna do this review, we gotta do it right. We gotta set the tone and check in with the Magic Duff Bucket. What have you have for me today, Magic Duff Bucket? A shot of vodka from Logan's in New York City? Yeah, that's probably how this adventure begins. What's this book about? This book's about two guys, one named Ghoul, one named Cape, who are running away from a celestial entity called the Naught. And this Naught is eating America from east to west. So they have to leave New York and make it to California, and along the way, hope they can figure out some way to stop this destruction of America. That's what the book's about. But you could read that anywhere, right? You could read that description on Earthling's website or the back of the book once it comes out. You're not here for that. You're not here for what happens. You're here for what is this book like, Jeff? And Beef Daddy's going to tell you after he gets Pete's Seasonal Saison from Rapture Brewing into the glass and then into the belly of the beast. I'm like the Naught, and I'm going to destroy this beer. Really, that's basically, look how I poured. Whole. Anyway, moving along. It's good. It's really good. As far as what this book is like, it's pretty hard to sum up. This defies categorization. Is it a horror? Yes. Is it sci-fi? Yes. Is it fantasy? Yes. Is it philosophical? Yes. There's so much about this book that defies a label. You can't just place it in one corner of your mind and be okay with it. I recently saw Christopher Golden interview Josh Malerman about this book, and I think they referred to it as a specialty read. And I thought that was kind of funny. It really helped me put a label on what this book is like, because it's a novel, it's a story, it's super entertaining, it's engaging, it's all the things you want a book to be. I sank into it and loved every minute of this journey. It's epic, but it's just not easy to categorize. And specialty read, I decided, I'll adopt that phrase. Because if people are looking for a simple book with a neat, easy label to just tell their friends that's what they read, this book isn't for them. You're not going to be satisfied with dumbing this book down into one handy little box. So, it's hard for me to recommend this book to people who have never read Malerman or who aren't open to trusting the adventure, because you do. This book demands that you trust Malerman's going to take you somewhere you want to go. And if you don't have that relationship and that respect with the author, then you might kind of be wondering, sitting there and spending too much time in your head instead of in the story. So that's my caveat. I love this book, but you got to be up for the trip, man. You got to be up. You got to read this book with an open mind and keep it open the whole way. And you'll be rewarded for sure. From the very beginning, this book is a song. It's a moment that keeps unrolling. It's a river that sweeps you up, and you have no choice but to get swept up and swept away. It's a wild ride, and the stuff that happens never stops happening. At one point, several points in fact, you pull your head up out of this book and you wonder, how did I get here? It made sense getting here. I know what happened, but I can't connect the dots A to B to C. And it all depends on how long you've been reading. Once you sit down and you open that door to Medley and you get in the car and you take off, there's no turning back. And then you just pop up in some unexpected place. This is Malerman's expansive imagination allowing itself to expand, to achieve something that I don't even know if Josh Malerman knew he could achieve. This is Malerman's Oz. In fact, there are stories within this story, many, They complete this quilted fabric of the novel. One story reminded me of Barker, another of Bill Denborough beating the devil, and I think I detected notes of Palahniuk in there throughout. It's all completely original, completely Malerman, but you could feel vibes of fiction from other books and other authors sort of echoing in this incredibly huge imagination. It's Malerman's American Folklore. But this is more than a novel. It's a thesis. It's a love letter to America and a plea to Americans to always push back against ignorance, to stay engaged, to stay open-minded, and to build on past successes, to learn from history but not linger there. It's a philosophy, it's a manifesto, it's a cure for apathy. It's a call to test your faith. I remember once I went to this fundamental Christian university, and I was there for 2 days talking to students, faculty, administration, get a sense of this place. And at the end of the 2 days, I talked to so many people from all different parts of this university, and they all said the same thing. I realized I was in a hive or a bubble or an echo chamber. And at the end of the 2 days, I had this group of students in front of me, and I had been getting just the same responses time and time and time again, and it was sort of going against human nature. There's no variety in the thinking here. And I got to a point where I challenged them, and I asked them, I said, how many of you ever been out of your city, out of your church, and out of your comfort zone? Have you ever gone into a place and confronted sin or what you think of as sin and challenged it? And I got all these blinking people looking, they were just kind of quiet. They looked around at each other and they were just blinking. And I said, because your faith is nothing if you don't test it. If you have this faith and you never test it against what you perceive as evil and come away solid in your faith, it's worthless. You got to test your ideas. You got to shake it. You got to shake your beliefs and see what is still there on the other side once all the unimportant stuff falls away. So Malerman is warning us against ignorance and the naught. And I'm warning you. Find the biggest block you can, jam it in the door of your mind. So keep that door open, or at least never let it fully close. And test your beliefs. Watch a news channel you've never watched before. Listen to somebody you disagree with, and see if your ideas hold up, if your beliefs make it out intact. And if they don't, maybe change what you think. Change your mind, learn something, grow a little bit. But don't just get comfortable in what you believe. Step outside, see the world, experience new things, get to know other perspectives, even ones that you've written off in the past. Reach out, connect, stay engaged. That's basically what this book is a plea for all of us to do. Stand up to the naught, and above all else, enjoy the ride. 5 stars. Stay frosty.